All right. After Johnson met filmmaker Sam Taylor Wood in 2009 on the set of their film Nowhere Boy when he was 18 and she was 42, the two began dating and were married in the chapel at Babington House. They changed both their surnames, blah, blah, blah. Two daughters. He's a stepfather to Sam's two daughters from her previous marriage when he was 18. So they met when he was 18 and she was 42. Also, I believe she was like the director of some film. He was an actor on set, power dynamic. Let's see the next tab over. Ooh, all right, this is Aaron Taylor Johnson next. Next. Okay. So this is, I think, when he was a bit younger. This is his, I don't know if they were just dating at this point. Maybe they were married. Next. That's the wife. Scroll. Okay. Oh my gosh. Next. Lord Jesus. All right. Next. Next. Okay. Is there one more, or is that? Next, I guess. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's a tattoo of her name. Her name is Sam. I'm pretty... Here, now that we're out of F11, you can check. Is that the last one? Yeah. Okay. So, what do you guys think? You think, so she met him 42. He was 18, I believe the articles...
yeah, 18 and 42.
You guys think... what do you guys think? Fair game, or...
I mean, he seems happy, question mark. But I do know there was a whole movement on the internet that was hashtag free Aaron Taylor Johnson, but he seems happy. Yeah. I do think it's weird though that her eldest daughter is only 4 years younger than Mr. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
That is a little weird.
Okay. Your reaction?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's their life, and as long as he's happy in this situation, I mean, and he doesn't feel like he was groomed, then but if he was groomed and maybe she was talking to him before he was 18, then I would...
That's what I had heard.
Think that would be more of a problem.
I feel like I graduated high school when I was 17 and not 18, but when... I feel like I've grown a lot since those years, and to be freshly out of high school, in theory, if you were 18 like that is really discomforting to me, and I guess it's legal, but myself, I don't like to see that.
I think it really depends on the dynamic. I mean, obviously, my boyfriend's way older than me, so I can't really be against this in any fashion. But I mean, as long as she's not abusing him or anything like that, I think it's fine, and they're both consenting.
What's your age gap relationship?
I'm 20 and my boyfriend's 39.
Okay, so 19 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Your reaction?
Oh, I think it's weird because when I'm 43 or however old she was, I don't think I could look at an 18-year-old and be like, oh my gosh, let me get married to him.
Why? Unless he looks like Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's fine.
I don't know.
It's all drink of water, that man.
Just they're just so immature and all of that. And it's just you're a child. Nothing wrong with it. Go do you, but it's just not something I would do.
I'm neutral because I get your point, but I also get that they're both he's 18, so he could do whatever he wants practically, type of deal.
Okay.
I mean, got with the 70-year-olds.
Sure.
My reaction, I think that he's 18, so he can do whatever he
now
feels.
let's just
and
switch
if they're
it.
happy,
Sure.
then...
Let's go ahead and switch it. 42-year-old male dating an 18-year-old woman. You guys cool with it too?
I mean, like I said, if I'm not going to judge one way that the age gap, if I'm not going to judge an older woman, then I guess, I mean, frankly, I kind of do judge her a little bit. Yeah, because she said, I would not, if I'm 42 years old, I would not be looking at an 18-year-old.
Sure. You might not, you personally wouldn't want to date a young person, but...
But you don't blame her, though, right?
Yeah,
if you were her age, right?
I don't
and
blame
you were
her.
with that guy that you found
He's-
sexy as
yeah,
hell.
he
For real, if
is.
you could
would-
pull
so
that.
you're
Seriously.
saying at 42.
And also, if I looked
hang
that
on, so
good
what
at
would
how
change
old
at
she is-
42 that would make you less desirous of how that guy looked?
Well, I don't know, but that's actually interesting that you say that. I think that there's definitely like attraction levels. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's like I guess it's a statistic. It's a graph, and it was like the ages that women find attractive as they
Women.
get older.
Yeah.
Women. That's what I said.
You said woman.
Sorry. I think I just pronounced it weird. I'm not trying to say it with an A. In my head, there's an E there. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Women.
Women.
I don't think that. Basically, what the graph said was that as women get older,
Women.
I don't need to
She
finish.
did it
It's
right
okay.
that time.
Go ahead.
That was a little.
Give
She
her
did.
grace.
She said
Give her
woman, but
grace.
okay, go ahead.
Women.
All right,
She said it
women.
right.
Yes,
Women.
there we go. Women.
Women.
Yeah.
Okay. Dang. 21 years of life, guys, and no one's ever corrected me on that. Okay. But anyway, as they got older, the attraction that they have to other people, those ages also get older. But then with men, it kind of stayed in that Leo DiCaprio age of like 18 to 25.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, again, like there could be some sort of bias on that, absolutely. But generally, I think it's just less common. Like I think that's why the internet freaked out about Aaron Taylor Johnson and Sam Taylor Johnson, is because that's just more uncommon. It's way more common to see an older man with a younger woman. Would I judge
If
it?
you find that guy
Maybe, but why
attractive-
does my opinion matter?
But if you find that guy attractive right this second, what do you think will happen when you're 40 that'll make him less
No, but I mean,
attractive?
okay, attraction is one thing, but I think actually going after it is another thing completely.
But if you're attracted to him, why wouldn't you go after him if he was interested?
Well, I mean, go after it. But then remember how we were talking about, like, last podcast we talked about, would a man find you more attractive in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years?
Yeah.
And the kind of consensus that we came up with was no, a man would not find
Yeah.
me as attractive. So it's kind of
Agreed.
one of those where I could be attracted to somebody for sure, but would they even want to get with me? Like, that's kind of a rare
Yeah, that has
situation
nothing
right there.
to do with what would make you less attracted
Right.
to him when you're 40.
I don't know. I think ideally by 40 I'm already settled down.
Yeah, but if you're not, what
If
would
I'm-
actually
if
make you?
I'm not,
and
then-
even if you were,
if I'm still
that
pulling,
still wouldn't have anything to do with the attractive level.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said who am I to judge?
Yeah.
Whatever. People can do whatever they want to do. I could not with someone who's older than my dad.
Crazy Ace, thank you for the gifted 20 subs on Twitch. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. W's in the chat for Crazy Ace. So what about a 42-year-old man dating an 18-year-old woman? You fine with it?
I think it's the same as the reverse. I think that as long as she wanted it and if she was going after him and he, like, when at the end of the day, if you're pursuing someone, if it's consensual, and again, like, the guy isn't like manipulating to groom someone, same with the woman, because women can do it too, then it's not my problem. It's not my life. If they're happy, that's them.
Well, here, let me make this a little easier. So before the show, all of you filled out questionnaires. There's a question on it which reads, is it wrong for a 30-year-old to date a 19-year-old? Lucy, you said yes.
I said yes and no, I'm pretty sure. Did I say all the way yes?
You said all the way yes.
Dang it.
Mizzy, you said yes, it is wrong. Ruby, you said it's wrong. Mandy, you said no. I can't read your... Kenna, you said you didn't answer it?
Oh, I don't think it's wrong.
Okay.
Is it weird?
You're fine with it?
Maybe.
It's weird, but
it's
it's
weird,
not
but it's not
wrong.
wrong, I guess, yeah.
Elle, you said no. Naomi, you said no. Riley, you said yes. It is wrong for a 30-year-old to date a 19-year-old.
I think it just depends. Like I said, there was no in-between answer for that one. So it just depends on the circumstances.
What are the circumstances?
Like I said, if it was consensual, if it was like there was grooming involved, which often happens like at that age.
But that would be wrong regardless of age.
Right. But it just happens more often if people are younger and they're not fully developed yet.
Well, assuming...
Does it? I think it probably happens a lot more often with people who have a distinct power dynamic difference, right? So it wouldn't really matter, right? It wouldn't really matter the age ultimately. So, like, if there's a 24-year-old millionaire and there's a chick who works at Starbucks, right? That would just be this same idea of like a power differential, right? And that's what everyone's bitching, really complaining about, is that there's some type of like power dynamic. You said freshly out of high school, that means you're naive, or freshly 18, it means you're too dumb to make these decisions, right? But I don't really understand that, because it seems to me like your chances of running into people around your same age group who can do these exact same things to you actually are much higher. Like significantly higher, in fact. So I've just never really understood that argument.
I just feel like there's like a mental difference too between someone at age 30 and someone at age 19. I know that even in the last 2 years of my life, I've gone through tremendous amounts of change. You know, your frontal cortex doesn't start developing until you're like 20, 21. So like...
Yes, it does. Your prefrontal cortex does develop before that.
Okay.
You're talking about the full development at 25.
The full development at 25.
Yeah, but then it starts to erode after 25.
But I mean, maybe this is just my experience, but I genuinely feel that like 1 year ago at 20 years old, I had not anywhere near the amount of mental clarity that I do now. So if I had made an informed decision like getting married to somebody, I might not feel that way now. So that's like...
So why should you vote at 18?
That's actually such a good point. But I think that's like... because that's a good point. That's a good point.
So the thing
but
is,
I'm not the president, so I can't say that.
So I just got to ask,
yeah.
right? Like ultimately, the truth is, every couple I've ever known, one's really much smarter than the others most of the time.
Interesting.
Most of the time, one is much smarter. I wanted to research this out, so I went looking. I was like, now, you know, everybody has their biases. It could be that it's just the types of people that I'm around. Maybe it's a function of the Midwest, even though I grew up in California. Maybe it's something like that. So I took to the one place where you can always find answers which are completely unbiased and always correct, which is Reddit.
I knew you were going to say that.
Reddit. But the reason I use Reddit threads a lot is because people often will source data that you can't find by Googling. Google will bury results. Reddit, these like little tweaker, meth addict Adderall heads.
You need a question answered.
Yeah, they're up there for like 5 hours a night just with one cigarette and coffee, just typing away, right? They actually will have some pretty good sources. So I went and started diving into this. Well, what was interesting in the thread, one, was how many women were asked, do you think your husband, are you in a position, like a white collar position with a degree, and your husband's blue collar? And who do you think is smarter? Almost everyone on the thread was like one was like, look, I'm a doctor. My husband's a mechanic. He's way fucking smarter than me. Then you go down the list, and I was like, actually, it actually kind of makes sense, right? And then when they started posting the sources for this, it started to make sense too, right? So women like to punch up. They like to punch above their weight class when it comes to dating, when it comes to marriage, when it comes to... They don't really want to be equally yoked. Right? So maybe it could be that there's some cases where there's a financial offset, like I have more money than you, but maybe the man surpasses you in every other capacity, and that's enough, right? And I'm not saying in all cases or even most, but at least in some. But it kind of reaffirmed my bias a little bit that, and the more people I talk to, hey, look, most couples aren't really that on par with each other. They don't really have similar interests all that often. And that seems to be fine. Seems to work fine. Like, I love video games. Wife fucking hates them. Doesn't give a shit about them, right? Likes to see me play them, but she doesn't care about them at all.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were...
Yeah.
Graffito Tact donated 200